Welcome back. We continue now with our investigation into the millions of taxpayer dollars that appear to have been wasted during the cleanup in the Florida Keys following Hurricane Irma. We uncovered how the use of 2 emergency contracts by Governor Rick Scott and his Florida Department of Transportation cost taxpayers an additional $28 to $30 million over and above what they should have paid for debris removal. For the first time, we were able to confront the governor on our findings after a campaign event Thursday in Hialeah. Governor, by ignoring the existing debris removal contracts you had in the Florida Keys and using an emergency contract, it ended up costing taxpayers about $28 to $30 million more. Was it a mistake?
You know, it's so frustrating that we had special interests decide not to do their job. So as governor, I did the right thing. We stepped up. We helped our communities. We cleaned up US 1. We got our state got back to work. We saved taxpayers a lot of money. It's fascinating to me that these same special interests that try to make a buck by taking advantage of our state are now trying to get people to say that that there was some other way to save money.
But when you had a contract for sweeping curbs and gutters that the state ends up paying $932 for, that could have been done for $12, don't you think that the state was taken advantage of and that, again, you made a mistake by going that emergency route?
Well, we did the right thing. It's so frustrating that we had the special interests that didn't show up and do their job. So
which special interests are you talking about specifically?
We had special didn't do their job, and now those same groups are trying to say that we could have saved money when they didn't do their job. We stepped up. We helped our communities. We got US 1 open so we could get back to business.
Last question on it, but just on September 12th, when you went out for this emergency contract, just 2 days after the storm, what specific companies told you they were unwilling to do the work?
If you look at what was going on after the hurricane, the people didn't show up to do their job.
Who didn't show up?
We'll get you the details of that. My office will get you the details. But they didn't show up to do their job, so we did our job. We showed up. We opened up US 1. We got people back to work. We got people back to their homes as quickly as we can. I can't imagine these same special interests now are sitting there trying to say there's somehow, when they don't do their job, that the state somehow didn't save money when we saved an unbelievable amount of money for the citizens of our state.
Governor.
Okay, 2 points. I'm not sure what special interest the governor is referring to, but in reviewing campaign finance reports, I can tell you that the 2 companies that received the emergency contracts, MCM and Community Asphalt, are members of the Florida Transportation Builders Association, whose Political Action Committee has given more than $300,000 to the Republican Party of Florida since Rick Scott has been in office. They have also been contributors to Rick Scott's campaign. And this is the second point. The governor promised he would get us the names of those companies that refused to do the work on September 12th. But we are still waiting for those answers. But while we wait, I decided to dig a little deeper on my own. The governor's entire defense of the emergency contract is that on September 12th, Monroe County asked the state to step in and clean up the Keys. The state, he maintains, was needed, and therefore he had no choice but to step in and handle debris removal. Okay, so I went back and looked at the very first Monroe County Commission meeting after Hurricane Irma, because if what the governor said is true, the county must have been thrilled with his response. But what I found was simply amazing, and I'm going to play it for you in a second, but let me set it up. The commission met on September 27th, that's 17 days after the hurricane. But rather than applauding the governor, county officials were angry. Debris removal was already being handled by Ashford, the company that the county had hired. Commissioners were openly complaining that the governor's emergency contracts were unnecessary and were actually slowing down the cleanup. And so at this point in the meeting, Monroe County Mayor George Nugent asked the county attorney if Monroe County can go to court to stop the state. And you will hear what happens next, including comments from the county administrator, Roman Gastasi. Here it is.
Bob, can we, and I don't know where I'm going with this, but can we do a cease and desist for this other company that's interrupting the contract that we have with our contractor?
FDOT?
might be able to help you with that.
I don't believe we can.
Well, it's what happens is it's a mission request that was in the system. We told the state, stop it. We don't want to do that anymore. Last Friday, Thursday-ish, and they took it and reactivated it again. So regardless of what we said, so I mean, this is really at the governor level at this point. I mean, Brian Coons, it doesn't even work there anymore. The emergency manager, he quit yesterday. Yeah. So this is at the level that's at. So we've already said to Tallahassee, you know, we've got this. We have a contractor. You're disturbing our issues. Go away. And they went ahead and just reactivated. So I don't know what else to tell you. It's at that level.
Well, somebody's got to tell this commission something. And what I'm saying, it appears to me that we had a contract, and I have a little background in this, right, in the discussions that we've had. We've got a contractor that we signed a contract with for a post-hurricane cleanup situation, and that's Ashbridge.
Correct.
Now, they're claiming that their problem are these guys, and I can understand. I didn't like when they did what they did in the first place, because we were ready to clear US 1, we were ready to go, and we've always done this. This has always been the way we've handled our business in a post-hurricane cleanup situation, is we contract with someone, and their responsibility is to perform according to the contract. And then the state stepped in, and I guess they thought they were being helpful. But if you talk about price gouging based upon the contract that we have, the governor was actually doing the price gouging.
Well, and I don't want to blame these guys when you say
I'm not
these
blaming
guys.
anybody.
I think Randy will be the first one to tell you, it's a statewide, you know, Southeast United State problem. It's not just these guys. I mean, this is exacerbated at our level.
All I'm talking about, he's got a job to do,
right,
and he's got to perform based upon the four squares of the contract, and we want him to perform. We don't need these other guys helping us.
I played it all because it's amazing. So let's just be clear. That was the county administrator saying he told the state, we got this. We have a contractor. You're disturbing our issues. Go away. And that was the mayor then saying, but if you talk about price gouging based upon the contract that we have, the governor was actually doing the price gouging. That's the mayor of Monroe County saying the governor was doing the price gouging. Amazing. Now, and then, what does he say after that? He says, and we don't need these guys. We don't need these other guys. Clearly, this story is not going away, and we'll continue to press for answers. All right, up next, Archbishop Thomas Swensky and the U.S. Conference of Bishops take on the Trump administration when we come back.